We're continuing our I Am MDC Day chats. All week long, we're talking to students, alumni, amazing staff from Miami-Dade College. We're trying to celebrate, we're not trying to, we're going to celebrate I Am MDC Day, September 6th. And basically what Miami-Dade College Foundation is doing is raising private money for students, and especially those affected by COVID-19. They do this every year, I believe, and this year they are celebrating their 60th birthday. Right now with Dr. Charlot. Hello!
Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you too. We got connected.
Thank you for having us. It's such a pleasure. We're so proud of you.
No, thank you for being here. This is crazy. So please correct me if I'm wrong. It's Dr. Charlot, right?
Charlot.
Charlot. Okay, see, I knew it. I didn't want to continually say Dr. Charlot. Charlot. Dr. Charlot, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you're here. I already introduced you kind of in a way. We're talking about I Am MDC Day and how we're gearing up to celebrate it on September 6th. We're talking to students, alumni, and amazing staff from Miami-Dade College throughout this whole week to celebrate I Am MDC Day. So let's start off immediately because they're very short interviews. I was looking at your resume, Dr. Charlot, and you are stacked. You are stacked. Do you mind if I go through the resume just a bit?
Not at all.
She said, flex on him. Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Economics, with a Certificate of Women's Studies from Duke University. And then, for some odd reason, you were like, you know what, I'm going to continue. You got your Juris Doctor degree from the University of Michigan School of Law, which is amazing. My question to you is, was becoming a president of quite possibly one of the biggest community colleges in the United States, was that always part of the plan?
No, it was not. And so I identify so much with our students who don't know what they want to do, especially 18. It's a huge undertaking to know your life at 18, 19, 21, even 30 sometimes, because you just don't know enough about yourself and the world. So I always knew I wanted to make a difference in the world. I always cared very deeply about my community. And I thought practicing law was the best way for me to do that. What I learned is there are so many ways you can give back. There's so many ways to be a contribution. And I preferred create learning environments that allow for personal transformation, that lead to community transformation. And so when I learned that is what inspired me, that is how I transitioned into community college education in particular.
Nice. So Dr. Charlot, where was the turning point of your commitment to better the lives of students? Was it specifically in college, or was it a moment?
That's another really good question. Because I'm a lawyer, I started out working in law schools. That was the easy transition into education. And I started out at NYU Law School, which is a private law school. Then I had an experience where I transitioned to a public institution, Rutgers Law School, Newark. And what I observed was the kind of student who attended the public institution was very different, obviously, than the private, but their needs were all different. And when someone gets to graduate school, they're pretty mature in their decision making. And what I realized is I wanted to have an impact earlier in the lives of students. And I was particularly drawn to the public institution because it's primarily first generation students of color. Most of the time, people don't know how the system works. And the last thing you want to do is to have talent go unnoticed or underdeveloped because of lack of information. And that's why the open access mission of a place like Miami-Dade College really inspires me.
That's awesome. That's amazing to hear. So if we're going to transition into student life now, what is campus life now for students? Like I graduated in 2013, so it's been quite a hot minute since I've been at Dade. And obviously with everything going on with COVID, what is campus life like right now?
It's virtual. You know, for the most part, the campus is physically closed until further notice when we have clarification from the CDC and other guidelines that it's appropriate to bring people back on campus. But as you know, the Kendall campus in particular is large. And so we have a very active SGA on Instagram. Our student
Yep.
life team is amazing. And it's very high touch, right? It's in the spirit of Miami-Dade College. We like this kind of intimacy and this kind of relationship building. But I will say, you know, my heart goes out to the class that just graduated from high school. They got cheated out of their prom, right?
Yeah.
They're excited about going to college. They can't do it yet in person. And there's a degree of maturity this moment is demanding. It
Right.
people recalibrate their expectations just to deal with the world that we have right now. And so we're highly sensitive to that at Kendall, and we're trying to think of different ways to still keep them engaged and satisfy that desire to mature through the social interactions. So over the summer, we've done things like drive-in movies,
Mm.
to bring people together. Our continuing education department came up with some clever ways to do some programming for the younger ones. We're also doing service things. We've done farm share for food distribution. This Saturday, we're doing a mass distribution so that people who need free mass and can't afford it can come to.
Nice.
So we're doing what we can to stay connected to the community, but we also know our students are struggling with mental health. The isolation is killing all of us. And so the more we can find interesting ways to not have the social distance dominate the social, but that we
Mm.
have connectivity, we're going to do our best to do that.
Good Lord. I mean, you said it all. I'm done for the day. Thank you so much. Dr. Charlot, I'm so glad that you bring up mental health and especially talking about college life and leaving after high school. It, I would have not graduated for it not being those online college courses. So I just can't imagine what that I guess that transition into it, because yeah, you are leaving high school. You didn't even get that experience in itself of your prom, and then you're going into college thinking, because truth be told, this is the advice that I try to be as sensitive as I can, but I'm not the most sensitive person here. I tell a lot of young people, college is it. Like, college is so much fun. The opportunities are endless, and it's not that I try to diminish their love for their final, activities like prom and senior brunch and all those good things. But honestly, I've had the best moments of my life in college. But I don't truly believe that this is going to be forever. And I think this is honestly going to better college life and college experience and just life experience in general, just in the little umbrella of mental health, right? Because people are going to appreciate the little things out here. And Miami-Dade College has so many things to get involved with. So I'm excited to see what you guys do just post-COVID once this is all over.
Your point is taken. And right now, because we're so isolated, it's all about your mindset, right? Like how you navigate this moment is the frame of mind that you choose to adopt to get through each and every step of each day. It's not even dealing with tomorrow. It's dealing with the next hour, right?
Right.
What this experience has taught all of us is that it is a moment for personal agency, because if you're waiting for a government or an institution to shape your life, we're also in transition. So what is the level of agency you have? If you think about athletes who are free agents, how do you scout your opportunities? How do you decide what makes the most sense? And a place like Miami-Dade is designed to support the needs of students from this community. I mean, people like you, right? You're near home, you love this place, but you also want to grow. And you want to grow inside of a caring environment and get a quality education. I mean, think about where you were and where you are now, right? And how it launched you in that direction. That's exactly what people need to do now, is prepare for the thing that's coming. Because, anybody who's waiting for that sign is going to jump on it too late.
Right. And I love that we live in this world where we seem to promote, you don't always have to go to college, like for a technical degree, right? But in reality, like, there are so many things that I have learned, that I have taken into my world. People say you could be a radio personality without going to college. Possibly, sure. But there have been like timeless and just things that I would have taken for granted back in 2013 when I was in college, and things that I have learned from Miami-Dade College that I take with me now, that I took to UF. And I'm just forever grateful about that environment that I was in. But circling back to how we can help out, how can the community help out Miami-Dade College?
Exactly what you're doing. It's so powerful for you to share your journey of personal development and empowerment through an education. This is
Yeah,
a time people need to be reminded that the long game is just as critical in a time where the short term is immediately gratifying, right? And so when you talk about the level of awareness, in college, there's personal development that happens, there's social development, there's the acquisition of knowledge, and there's the development of skills. And the beautiful part is you're in an incubator where you get to integrate all those pieces, right? Like in
right,
your day life, you don't have the bandwidth to focus on each of those things, but in college, it's all about you. And so you,
right,
you get to do that. So telling your story as often and as authentic as you can will help people make decisions based on the information that they need. So I think that's critical. The second component is I also think these students need support. No one has been through this before, and I cannot imagine being 18 or 19 trying to sort through this and imagine trying to
right,
build the future in a time you don't even know what's coming, right? And
right,
be a faith that one needs. And so conversations like this are also critical for people trying to make decisions, right? The other thing I think is important is to also understand the kind of education you acquire at Miami-Dade College is a foundational skill set that's your gateway to the next thing, right? So
that's
if
right,
about your journey, you spent your first 2 years with us, you got your associate's degree, and then you transferred to complete the other 2 years. By
right,
doing that, you opened up a range of options. You didn't have to transfer. You had your credential, you could have done something else, but you maximized your time to allow for that growth and development and exploration. And the more people can understand the value of sort of going fast and slow at the same time, it'll open up more opportunities for them to figure out what's next. The key is don't stop moving because of the
right, right, yeah,
right. Don't allow that to distract you. Like, stay on your game. I love sports analogies. It's that focus on the basket or the goalpost. Like, don't lose sight of your game because of what's
right,
around you. But the other piece that community can do is support us financially. That's what I Am MDC Day is all about. We've been giving students scholarships as we enter people's homes in the remote environment. You can see the inequities very clearly. Not everyone has a
mhm,
laptop. Not everyone has,
right,
and so the college has provided laptops in instances where people have needed it. But we've
wow,
also,
I didn't know that.
yeah, we last summer we gave over 700 laptops for people who needed it to transition to the remote environment. And we've also given scholarship in CARES dollars, over 10 million in CARES dollars, because people, they're struggling at home. So how can
Yeah,
someone food? I mean, on classes if you don't have food, and
right,
their necessities. So any kind of support is certainly welcome, but I think we need to lift up our young people. And I want to add one more component and give the interview back to you. Is there are a lot of people out of work? They've
right,
either lost their jobs in restaurants or retail, and these folks are trying to figure out what's next. And to
right,
those people, if any are listening, you may want to consider, do you upskill? Do you pivot and think about how you can take your skills into a new environment? We have accelerated short-term credentials that you can finish in a very short period of time, several months, one-time classes. So we have always been the community's college, and we will continue to be. And it's important for you to know you can count on us even in this moment, now more than ever.
yes, amazing. Thank you, Dr. Charlot. And just pedaling back on what you said, honestly, I couldn't have continued my education and been where I am now if it wasn't for Miami-Dade College. I got the American Dream Scholarship that took care of my first 2 years, which I am forever grateful for because I'm now in student debt, not because of Miami-Dade College. And that is a whole other IG live that we can talk about. But thank you so much for joining me today on this, and I hope we continue to partner up because I would love to go back to Miami-Dade College, talk to students, anything like that. Please consider me because I would love, 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 love to do that. My last question for you, I guess, is what advice do you have for students right now?
Keep shining. You did not get this far because you've been playing a small game. If there's something in this world that needs to be different, and now more than ever, we've seen over the summer conversations about civic engagement. Your generation is raising your voices around what you think the world should look like. We need you to amplify those voices, and to do it most effectively, and education will help you. You don't need it. It's necessary, but not sufficient. But boy, does it make a big difference. And
Yes, it does.
we need you. We need you to keep shining, to hold your light bright, and to know you have a generation of people. That's my crew. We got your back. So you're not alone. You're not alone. And just remember, this will pass. We don't know when. It will pass. And when it passes, you want to be ready so that you can take full advantage of what's coming. We appreciate you. We see you. We adore you. And we have the learning environment that's set up for your success. And Kelvin, before we go, I just have to let you know, I'm just so proud that you are MDC, that you're MDC Kendall. You know, your heart shines through, and it's a testament to what you've done to help yourself grow and develop. So kudos to you, and thank you for being an example for our community.
Oh, thank you, President Dr. Charlot. I appreciate you so much. I am always going to appreciate Miami-Dade College. Never going to forget them ever.
Awesome. Stranger, take good care.
Take good care, stay safe, and guys, keep it locked for tomorrow's interview as well. I Am MDC Day, September 6th. Bye.
Bye-bye.